now it's finally time for Pyrrhix's video on Manhattan Cafe, the jet black phantom of Umamusume. I'm looking forward to this one, man, because the you know, the following, like, I'm trying to fight, like, reach my shadow kind of thing, that kind of went over my head until you guys explained it to me, because it's meant to be a if you know you know kind of thing, right? So I'm looking forward to Pyrrhix's explanation on all this kind of stuff. Looking forward to it, man. Here we go. All right, as always, Pyrrhixz, thank you very much, man.
Cast of characters, with some claiming the spotlight as the primary focus for an anime season.
Oh, for full context, by the way, we literally just watched Beginning of a New Era last week. So if you guys want to watch that as well, the reaction will be on Patreon. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. But that is the context, yeah.
Even if an Uma isn't the main focus, acting as a supporting role, their history can still prove to be just as interesting as the main character of the season. One
Seen great characters, yeah. Seen great characters.
Beginning of a New Era, acting as an acquaintance of Agnes Tachyon. She stands out as unique with both her personality, motivations, and even down to her race attire. An Uma chasing after a ghostly friend.
Yeah, alright.
To race despite physical deterioration and illness. This is the story of Manhattan Cafe, the jet black phantom of Umamusume.
Okay.
Manhattan Cafe was
oh
born on
my
March 5th,
god, she's
1998
actually
in the
jet
city of
black.
Chitose, Hokkaido,
God
at
damn.
The Shodai Farm.
What a beautiful coat,
The Shodai
man.
Farm, for added context, is an incredibly important driving force in the world of Japanese horse racing. The Shodai Farm operates multiple farms and related businesses, producing many top-class racehorses domestically.
Wow.
Sunday Silence, one of the greatest sires in Japan's history, was purchased by this farm. In addition, Northern Taste was also acquired by the farm as well.
Shout out, that name keeps
Taste was a
popping up a lot.
descendant of Northern Dancer, an incredibly strong Canadian racehorse with a staggering race history, only adding to the high stature of the farm. As we learned in my previous video with Grass Wonder, farms like these make a majority of their earnings from either racing or auctioning off racehorses with strong pedigrees. The latter would be the case for Manhattan Cafe. Manhattan Cafe would be one such horse included in the JRHA Select sale in 1998. This sale of Cafe would catch the attention of Fusao Sekiguchi, who'd purchased Manhattan Cafe for 136.5 million yen.
Gonna have to start googling these numbers. What? Wait, what did he say? 136.5.
Who'd purchased Manhattan Cafe for 136.5.
Oh my god, that sounds like a lot, bro. 136.5 million yen. Are you serious? What? Wait, what? Oh my god, man.
Million yen. However, before Cafe could officially debut, ownership would be transferred to Kiyoshi Nishikawa, a prominent racehorse
Wait,
owner.
am I putting that right? Hold on, 136. Oh wait, no, I bugged out. Wait, did he say? Sorry. One second.
Of Fusao Seki. 1998 would be one such horse included in the JRHA Select sale in 1998.
136.5 million, yeah? Yeah, 136.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. That's 600,000 pounds. Is that right? Wait, what? Wow.
The attention of Fusao Sekiguchi, who'd purchased
Have I done a mistake here? Was that
36.5 million yen? However, before Cafe could officially debut, ownership would be transferred to Kiyoshi Nishikawa, a prominent racehorse owner in Japan.
Wow.
The ownership of Cafe would be split at this point, with Nishikawa and
Flippin'
Teruya
hell, bro.
Yoshida, the representative of the Shodai Farm, claiming co-ownership of Manhattan Cafe.
Okay.
Unlike other racehorses we've covered on the channel before, Manhattan Cafe would have a late start to his career. It is common for most racehorses depicted in Umamusume to debut in their 2-year-old year, peaking and competing in the classics in the 3-year-old year that follows. Cafe would debut in 2001, but before we dive into his career, we need to establish his history before reaching the race course. Manhattan Cafe, upon Nishikawa claiming ownership, will be trained by Futoshi Kojima at the Miho Training Center. Kojima, prior to becoming a trainer, would be a well-known jockey who rode several horses who appear in Umamusume. Famously, Kojima would jockey both Sakura Chiyono and Sakura Bakshin for the entire duration of both careers.
Nice.
The history between Nishikawa and Kojima is due to a choice encounter itself. When Kojima was still an active jockey, by chance, he'd be seated next to Nishikawa at a sushi restaurant in Roppongi.
Oh, wow.
After a brief discussion, Nishikawa warmed up to Kojima, stating that when he became a trainer, he'd love to entrust one of his horses to Kojima. Following this interaction, Kojima would train several horses owned by Nishikawa, these being Carib Cafe, Eagle Cafe, and now Manhattan Cafe. Manhattan Cafe is a name which honors his owner and trainer. Due to the history between Nishikawa and Kojima, it was believed that creating a name with the suffix cafe tended to be more successful for Kojima to train. Manhattan was given to him by Nishikawa, named after the city of Manhattan in New York. In addition to cafe being a good luck charm as a suffix, it also represented the horse's appearance as well. His black coat similar in appearance to a dark roast coffee. Cafe's appearance in Umamusume also stands out in her unique racewear. Cafe's race attire pays tribute to his owner, Nishikawa. Nishikawa would rarely show his face in public. However, the few times he did, he could be seen wearing an all-black suit, yellow tie, and black gloves.
Damn!
Photos of Nishikawa exist, but the appearance of Cafe in Umamusume is a direct resemblance to his mysterious owner. Speaking of which, you know who else has an amazing design? Cheval Grand. I absolutely love this character. So as a thank you for 40k subscribers, I have a challenge for all of you watching. If this video hits 2k likes, I'll host a giveaway for this Cheval Grand figure shipped right to your door.
Damn!
All you have to do is reach the like goal and comment your favorite Uma down below.
That is pretty sick.
Best of luck, trainers, and thank you all for your continued support. Along with the top class trainer, Cafe would be jockeyed by Masayoshi Ebina. Ebina, for those of you who see my Grass Wonder video, would be the jockey to take over Matoba's position of jockeying El Condor Pasa following the Mainichi Okan. In modern day, Ebina is regarded as one of the top overseas Japanese jockeys in international competitions. Though they're not in the global Umamusume game or anime yet, only present in the JP version, Ebina would jockey Bubblegum Fellow,
she's cute, bro.
Dream Journey, and Nakayama Festa.
Wow,
in addition to having a strong group behind him, Cafe would also come from a strong lineage. Cafe was sired by Sunday Silence, one of the most famous sires Japan would ever see. In my time researching racehorses, Manhattan Cafe's pedigree is one of the most detailed that I could find, going back 7 generations. Along with Sunday Silence, Cafe's mare would be another notable name. Subtle Change was a winning racehorse in Ireland, but more importantly, Change was a descendant of Schwarzwald Bolt, a German broodmare who was known for producing numerous winners. I understand. His debut race while training at the Shada
German is too hard to pronounce.
Was highly regarded due to his obedience and good-mannered nature. It was rare for descendants of Sunday Silence to show such good temperament while training, yet Cafe was very easy to work with and took training very quickly. Prospect was there for Cafe to be a strong competitor due to his calm demeanor, jockey synergy, and good mood overall. Sadly for Cafe, promising aspects of future victories, a new roadblock would suddenly appear. Cafe was a very delicate horse, soon showing signs of weakness in movement and very weak internal organs. In addition, he had vulnerable hooves, which were prone to injury. Despite the health problems, Cafe still showed exceptional talent despite his flaws. On January 29, 2001, Manhattan Cafe would enter his debut race. However, due to a late start and Ebina's inability to hold the reins properly, Cafe would finish 3rd overall. In the race that followed, Cafe would secure his first victory. Even so, the next race would be one far above the grade of these newcomer races. Cafe would compete next in the Yayoi Show, a race which brings together the strongest horses from Japan and is widely seen as a major prelude to the classic Triple Crown series. Due to further declining health, Cafe would lose 20 kilograms between his second race and the Yayoi Show. The Yayoi Show would be held on March 4, 2001, with his previous newcomer race only being a month prior, held on February 11th. This race is displayed in beginning of a new era, and by this point, it was already established that Cafe was sickly in the anime, a direct reflection of his declining health. Manhattan Cafe would finish 4th place in this race, with Agnes Tachyon taking 1st.
Agnes Tachyon, man. I can't wait for her video as well.
Cafe have a few interactions, with Cafe clearly annoyed whenever she's engaged with Tachyon. Tachyon, who is obsessed with Umamusume research, constantly asks Cafe if she's caught up to her friend, almost taunting her in her own way. Manhattan Cafe,
she is not having it, man.
declining health, continues to train, claiming she's chasing after her dear friend. This friend, though never physically shown in the anime, appears as a black silhouetted phantom, a ghostly figure.
We just watched it last week. It was insane.
This figure is believed by many players to be the image of Sunday Silence.
Right.
From such a strong lineage and having such a promising body at birth, Cafe's sharp drop in health only left untapped potential held back by his own body's weakness. Cafe and Umamusume would persevere even with the various ailments plaguing her, attempting to reach a peak of horse racing, the image of Sunday Silence. In addition, Cafe would bear a striking resemblance to his sire. Even the silhouette Cafe is chasing in the anime appears to be another form of herself. Most racehorses set a goal to claim the Triple Crown title. However, for Manhattan Cafe, that dream would die at the Yayoi show. Being a prelude to the Satsuki show, and not
I'm gonna have to watch this movie again.
Cafe lost the opportunity to participate by one single placement. Cafe's declining health continued to chip away at his racing potential, dropping his placement at his next race, at the Azalea show, to 11th place overall. Even with the inability to claim the classic Triple Crown, Cafe's trainers still had full intention of entering him into Tokyo Yushun. However, with continual weight loss and poor performance, they'd abandoned the second leg of the classic titles, instead aiming to aid Cafe in recovering before his next race. This sequence of training while ill is once more represented in the Umamusume movie, showcasing the small interactions between Manhattan Cafe and Agnes Tachyon regarding her training despite her crippling health. Cafe repeatedly states that she wants to catch up to her friend, which is something Agnes constantly holds over her. We see a stark contrast between Tachyon and Cafe through these interactions. Tachyon, who was born with strong racing capabilities, would barely train and still dominate the race course, only to be forced to retire early to avoid further injury. Cafe, although from a strong lineage, will be dealt a bad hand in his first year of training, with a weak body and constantly deteriorating health. Even so, she continued to persevere while chasing the ideal image, this friend that she's trying to surpass. Cafe's next two races will result in first place finishes, reigniting the hope of Cafe displaying a strong racing potential. These were both ungraded races, being the Furano Tokubetsu, held on August 4, 2001, and the Akanko Tokubetsu, held on August 26, 2001. With 2 wins under his belt and seemingly bouncing back from deteriorating health, Manhattan Cafe would next aim for the Saint Light Kinen.
I hear a butt coming.
This G2 graded race would allow priority entry to the Kika show, should Manhattan Cafe place within the top 3.
3,000 meters
Cafe's
down.
health seemed stable, he would once more suddenly drop in weight, losing 10 kilograms between the point of him racing on August 26 and the Saint Light Kinen,
that's a lot of unintentional weight loss, man. What the heck?
The sudden weight drop was due to Cafe's weak internal structure, causing his weight to fluctuate irregularly as his career continued. In addition to poor health, Cafe would also not be jockeyed by Ebina for this race. Ebina would already be set to jockey Admire Road, another competitor at the Saint Light Kinen. Due to this, Cafe would be temporarily jockeyed by So Nihon Yanagi. Though a temporary jockey, Nihon Yanagi would be from an impressive bloodline of famous trainers and jockeys, one of the most notable being his grandfather, Yuji Nohira, who would be the trainer for Symboli Rudolph during his racing career. Cafe would unfortunately not place within the top 3 at the Saint Light Kinen, placing 4th overall, barely missing the Kika show priority placement. Curiously, as Cafe's race history would display, his very next race would be the Kika show. Due to only 15 competitors registering for this race, Cafe was able to slip his way in, aiding to fill the full 18-slot roster for the final chance to claim victory in a classic race. Though brief, this race is displayed in beginning of a new era, with Tachyon rewatching the race footage of the Kika show. This race would be met with strong competitors for Cafe to go up against, 2 notable names being Dansu Flame and Jungle Pocket. Pocket, unsurprisingly, would be the fan favorite to win, Coming off their recent
What a
victory at the
movie,
Tokyo
man.
Yushin,
What a movie.
Cafe would hang in the middle of the pack for a majority of the race itself. However, when Minor Despot began to surge forward near the final homestretch, so did Cafe. Both Cafe and Despot were not seen as fan favorites to win, Cafe placing 6th in the fan vote, and Despot 11th. As the movie would show us, Cafe would seize victory, pulling ahead at the very last second over Despot.
Dude.
This would be depicted as her once more chasing after the Phantom of Sunday Silence in the anime as she raced in the Kika show. Even though Cafe was unable to claim the classic Triple Crown,
oh
despite
my
all the
god!
roadblocks he faced,
Oh
he was
my
able to
god!
claim at least one classic title. Instead of continuing to ride the high of this win, Kojima would instead opt to allow Cafe to rest for a short period, ranging from October 22nd, 2001 to December 22nd, 2001, aiming to improve his health overall. Following this, Cafe would be placed in yet another race against strong competitors. On December 23rd, 2001, Manhattan Cafe would find himself participating in the Arima Kinen. This race would pit Cafe against the undefeated racehorse of the year 2000.
The definition of aura right here.
As
The
well
definition
as
of aura
Meisho
farming.
Dodo and Narita Top Road. Unsurprisingly, these 4 horses were the 4 top fan favorites to win this race. As the race began, To the Victory would stay comfortably in first place, with American Boss trailing in second. All 4 fan favorites were spread out as the race began all the way till the final homestretch. It would be in this homestretch that Manhattan Cafe would once more surge forward, clearing 600 meters in an astounding 33 seconds. Cafe would be locked in a fierce rush to the finish line with 4 other competitors, these being American Boss, To the Victory,
American Boss,
TM Opero, and Meisho Dodo. Cafe would pull ahead in the final moments of the race, claiming a back-to-back G1 victory in the Kika show and now the Arima Kinen. This would end Cafe's first year of racing on a high note, having won 1 classic race and 1 of the Grand Prix titles. Cafe would be nominated as Best 3-Year-Old Horse in 2001. However, Jungle Pocket would claim this title, who'd won both the Tokyo Yushin and the Japan Cup. Entering the year 2002, Cafe would participate in the Nikkei show, which would be held on March 23, 2002. Due to unstable conditions of the racecourse, and once more irregularity in Cafe's health, he would place 6th in this race, despite being the fan favorite to win after his strong back-to-back G1 victories. Cafe would struggle to navigate this race due to hoof instability, causing his jockey to also encounter some difficulty while riding Cafe.
Oh no.
Cafe's next race, just like the Arima Kinen in 2001, would once more bring 2 strong competitors to the track.
God, look at this animation, man!
Jungle Pocket would face Cafe in the 2002 Spring Tenno show, which would be held on April 28, 2002.
Thank you for the information, Kibian-san.
Manhattan Cafe would be second favorite to win under Narita Top Road, with Jungle Pocket being third in the fan favorite. Top Road had claimed 2 consecutive victories prior to the Spring Tenno show, defeating Pocket previously, which would only add to his overall popularity. Manhattan Cafe and Narita Top Road would closely follow one another, eventually reaching the final homestretch of the race, where Cafe would surge
so many
ahead of
insane
Top
names
Road.
in this generation.
Passing
What
Top
the
Road,
hell?
Jungle Pocket would give chase, with Cafe barely retaining his lead position, claiming a victory at the Spring Tenno show. Though this victory was yet another high in Manhattan Cafe's difficult racing career, much like many Umas, one decision would lead to his next race being his last.
Oh no.
Following the Spring Tenno show, Manhattan Cafe would see no racing activity till October of 2002. This was due to a choice that would shift Manhattan Cafe's career. In August of 2002, the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe would be announced, with Shodai president Yoshida and trainer Yoshida aiming to travel abroad to compete. This was to try and establish Cafe as the successor to Sunday Silence, who was an international winner in the racing world. This also, once more, plays into the ghostly friend Cafe is chasing in beginning of a new era. Although president and trainer Yoshida wanted to take Cafe abroad, Nishikawa was against it.
The A-word.
Despite this, he would lose to a 2-to-1 vote, and ultimately, Cafe would be brought to France, where he'd be conditioned to compete in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, which would take place on October 6th.
The final boss
This choice,
of Uma.
as we've seen before with Simbali Rudolph's career, would sadly end in disaster.
Man.
Manhattan Cafe would place a devastating 13th at the Prix, and his body would be broken, sustaining a new case of tendonitis in his left front leg. Due to this, no further discussion was needed, and Manhattan Cafe would officially announce a sudden retirement. Even though this is a sad ending to Cafe's real-life career, Umamusume Pretty Derby gives us a possibility of an alternative ending. In the ending farewell event of Manhattan Cafe's
That's why it was
story,
it was the Dream Series one, isn't it?
Tachyon vote against Cafe traveling abroad.
Oh.
In making this choice, you're able to save Cafe from injury and allow her to properly rest and recover.
I mean, okay, this sounds like that was a very, very hotly like disagreed with decision then, like at least post anyway.
And allow her to properly rest and recover, eventually continuing to race domestically in Japan. This provides a happy what-if scenario to Cafe's story, shining a light on a career that could have continued. Due to the injuries that Cafe sustained, even at his retirement ceremony, held on December 22nd, 2002, he'd be unable to run or even walk properly, his handler having to keep a slow pace for his final time on the racecourse.
Oh, that's sad, man.
Cafe would display a number 4 bid to honor his victory at the Arima Kinen the year prior. Cafe would also be named as the best 4-year-old and older horse of 2002 in Japan.
That's
Following
so sad,
his racing
man.
career, Manhattan Cafe would stay in the Shadai farm, where he would act as a breeding stallion. Despite the various health issues Cafe faced,
Dude, this is
several offspring would be G1 victors in their own careers.
nice.
Some of these G1 winners would include Joe Cappuccino, Red Desire, and Hirono de Amour.
Do you know what's so interesting? This is like the complete opposite of Tachyon, right? I don't know the IRL Tachyon story. We haven't seen that video yet. But Tachyon, you know, due to I guess potential injury, retired early. Cafe, you know, plowing through injury into a career-ending injury.
Breeding stud career would
Is that
last
right?
until 2015, when his health would sharply decline. Over the years in his retirement life, Cafe would continue to see declining health and a crippling immune system. Previously, Cafe was able to bounce back and enter a successful breeding season year after year.
But now,
However, in 2015, his health would plunge to the point of no return. On August 13, 2015, Manhattan Cafe would sadly pass away at the age of 17. The cause of Cafe's death was due to a peritoneal tumor, which affects the abdominal area. This would lead to sudden weight drop, loss of appetite, and fluid buildup in the abdomen. Even with Cafe's passing, his race history made him a notable name in Japanese horse racing. A racehorse who would face some of the strongest of his generation, and despite his deteriorating health, would emerge victorious against all odds. Personified in Umamusume as an Uma of perseverance and commitment, racing despite illness and injury, all to chase the shadow of her dear friend. This was the story of Manhattan Cafe,
damn
the
man.
jet black phantom of Umamusume. Did you enjoy this video, and
That's
who should I cover next?
tragic one, man.
Be sure to let me know in the
grass
comment
wonder
section
there.
down below. Thank you all for joining me, and as always, I will see you all in the next one.
Thank you as always, Pyrrhixz. Appreciate it. Big time banger video as always. Man, that is that's a tragic one, man. God damn. It's tough, dude. It's really difficult, man. Like there's just so many thoughts going on in my head. It's like, you know, obviously hindsight is 2020, right? But it's like, you know, should they have not pushed Cafe past it? Like if they're seeing, you know, systemic issues like weight loss, unintentional weight loss after so long, like multiple bouts of unintentional weight loss, France, yeah, for real, right? And then like the decision to send Manhattan Cafe abroad, like even with those pre-existing health conditions, it's tough, bro. Again, it's easy to talk about this after the fact, right? Like, you know, hindsight 2020 and all, but yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough.
You are king dream 조선의 탄조 조선들은 조리어 받고 결혼과 실로 스스밤에 지켰던 바의 비가 하나 사간 스노가시 바나시 하나 스토리 원하시 drop yeah my title you can't die I do it for the fam I do it for the team yeah I do it with my hands team one till we're hand and all you gotta 있어 three 라지 폭탄 bam 각자 버스가 쏘도 각자 리듬 타는 것도 각자 스타일이 달라도 놈의 저저 we all want explosion bam no doubt it's the bills that I'm choosing. Pure cash from the white that I'm moving. Never losing. Self-care with the yellow med kit for the bleeding and bruising.